911, what's your emergency?
Yes, I'm calling because I don't know what's going on with my neighbors. It seems like there's some suspicious activity going on. They had all these foreign cars and sports cars in the driveway. I tried asking them what they do for a living, and they told me to get off of their property. I'm friends with the HOA.
Okay, ma'am, let me get some information.
I practically own their property because I'm friends with the HOA.
Ma'am, have there been any crimes committed?
I mean, I told them to give me in written writing what they do for a living. And they told me to get my goof ass out of here. Fuck you mean? They from Chicago. And I goes follow them on social media. I mean, they have a gut. They're always doing things. I mean, we live in San Diego, California. The cost of living here is extremely high, and I can barely afford to live here. And I have a master's degree. I work 9 to 5, and they're coming and going.
Okay, ma'am. Hasn't been a crime committed. Okay, let's do this. Back up a bit. What's your neighbor's name?
Yes, it's Anthony and Naomi Temple. Their TikTok name is Tony and Nay, and his Instagram is BossForLife81, and their address is 551 Lane, La Jolla, California, 92037.
Ma'am, let me explain this to you. You cannot call the police on your neighbors because they're successful, and they won't tell you how they're making their money. It's none of your business.
I should know. I go to work at 9 a.m., I check their social medias. They're on their boat. I mean, actually, for yacht, it's a pretty nice yacht. I come at 5 o'clock. They're home. I mean, what are they doing to make this type of money?
Ma'am, I'm not understanding. What is it that you want us to do?
I mean, and when he was walking off, he kept saying Digital Streetz, the Digital Streetz. I'm going to look it up online and see what's really going on because you're not helping. I mean, is that gang affiliated? I'm going to look it up online right now. It says The Digital Streetz, How to Start a Six-Figure Facebook Business by Anthony Temple.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, well, I mean, I still shouldn't have to do your job, so I'm going to buy this right now so I can really get to the bottom of this and see what's going on.
Ma'am, just so you know, the next time you call with a frivolous call like this, you can get fined. You have a good day.
All right, I'm Anthony Temple, and this is Real Ways. This is the channel where we're dedicated to teaching you real ways how to diversify your income and to build financial wealth. What I want to talk to you guys about today is Facebook Marketplace and the opportunities that you may have with it. But before we get into that, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. So Facebook Marketplace right now, you guys, it's absolutely exploding. And the opportunities that you have with Facebook, man, it's incredible right now. A lot of you all may not know that Facebook has over 1 billion users right now with 250 million active shoppers right on a daily. So that means there's a lot of opportunity there for you. And Facebook, they have no other approval process than you already having a Facebook account. So most of you all can get started as soon as today. If you don't have a Facebook account, go set it up. And then Facebook is only taking 5% right of what your sales are. And so what that means is, like, for a lot of you e-commerce guys that know, some platforms, they take up to 30%, right? And other platforms, they may charge you like per listing to list every item that you want to sell. So that opportunity is huge. You only have 5% that they're taking right from your sales. That's the only fee that they have right now. So you guys can absolutely kill it right now. There's so much opportunity to just grow, right? And then with Facebook Marketplace still being fairly new to how they're building and scaling and to where you can drop ship on there, right? The opportunity is insane. So a lot of you all may have missed that Amazon wave when it was super easy to make money early on. You know, you kind of have a similar opportunity here, right? With Facebook. But with that being said, right, you want to keep in mind that typically a lot of these platforms, they learn from their competitors and the mistakes that they learned early on. So you may not know how long that window of opportunity is going to be. So you guys want to take action right away. And that's what we do over here at the Real Ways family. You know, we take action. So when it's something that comes across your radar and you see an opportunity to make money, man, jump on it. You know, jump on it right away. Don't hesitate. And that's the biggest thing, right? Especially with e-commerce, because some people may look at it like it's intimidating, like selling on Amazon. You know, you may look at the dashboard like, man, this is kind of overwhelming. But with Facebook Marketplace, it's kind of it's straight to the it's a straight shot. So you guys don't want to miss this opportunity. It's one of those things that I use as a passive income, and it's a good passive income. So you guys want to go ahead and take advantage of that. Don't hesitate. A lot of people talk themselves out of starting something before they even start. So this is one of those things where you already have a Facebook account. Start making money today. And the Real Ways family, we're a small community, but we're an active community. So you want to take action. And for the book, it's the first book that we released on the Digital Streetz platform, How to Start a Six-Figure Facebook Business. For everyone that's purchased the book, man, I want to thank you for all of the support, man. The book is doing awesome. I appreciate it, man. For you all that's not following us on the Digital Streetz platform, go over to all the social media pages and follow us on Facebook and on Instagram at the Digital Streetz. And you guys want to stay in tune with us, especially with all the amazing things that we have coming up that we're going to share on this platform. You guys do not want to miss it, I promise you. But Facebook right now is one of those opportunities, right, where you can make a lot of money and fairly easy, because you don't know when they're going to begin to really start regulating the platform where they make it more difficult to sell on, right? So you want to take advantage of that. You never know. I don't know which direction they're going to go, but right now they're scaling at a rapid rate. And you could just do drops. You can start with just doing drop shipping. So you don't have to have the product, right? For you all that don't know what drop shipping is, basically what it is you go source a product from somewhere like eBay or Amazon or Walmart, right? And then you just mark the product up at a higher price. So if the product is selling for $50 on eBay, then you turn around and you sell it on Facebook for $70 or $80. Customer buys the product, you pay eBay, the seller, $50, right? And you keep the $20 or $30 profit. It's that simple. So you want to look for good selling products. And how you do that too is, I'm going to give you guys just a little insight and just some of the things, right, that we talk about in this book. Is how you do that is, if you're looking for good selling products on eBay, typically what you would do is you would look at the amount of products that's sold on eBay, and the ones that have the higher amounts that's been sold, those are the products that you want to look at. That means that that product is selling well. Right, so you look at that listing, you see, hey, this product has sold, 7,000 times. It's a no-brainer. Purchase that, relist that product on Facebook Marketplace, and put it at a higher profit. And the thing is, and how this method works. Now, trust me, it works. I've been drop shipping for years, so this method works because everybody don't do their due diligence, right, when they're purchase a product. Some people just want to purchase the product. They don't want to continue to search. They just want to get the product, get it over with. It's that simple. So you guys want to take advantage of this. Go grab the book on the Digital Streetz platform. Stay up to date with us too. Like and subscribe. We're going to be releasing a book too, How to Build Your Personal Credit. Then another book that we're going to be releasing on the platform is How to Build Business Credit in 30 Days. And these are some of the things that I've implemented in my life to help me be successful, especially with e-commerce, right? Because you're going to need that capital. You're going to need that credit to help you scale. So in these books, I talk about how I did that, how you do it, and just how to execute. So this is one of those real ways that you guys just want to continue to take advantage of. So just to talk to you guys about the Digital Streetz, right? So what the Digital Streetz is, and the concept behind that was, everybody has seen, somebody on the streets, selling a product. And that's how I started in business, where you can go get a product, right? Whether it's a case of water bottles, whether it's electronics, fruit, or whatever it may be. But you can get that product the same day and start selling that product the same day. And that's the reason why people may typically start like this, or they hustling that way. But we want to get out of that old mindset, right, of street hustling and apply it to the digital world, because you can grow so much faster, so much stronger. Like your potential is unlimited in the digital world. So you guys make sure that you go over to the, Instagram, follow us so you guys can keep up to everything with everything that is we're doing. Go over to the Facebook, get the Digital Streetz. I'm gonna put all the links in the description so you guys can follow us. But you guys don't want to miss all of the amazing things that we have coming up and the information that we're going to be sharing on this platform. This platform is for the people, real people, real ways. And it's how I started in business. When I was a kid, my father, he built a snow cone stand for me and my brother. And we sold snow cones every summer, and candy and potato chips. And we did, as kids, we did pretty well doing that. And, but it's so many different ways where you can apply that to the digital world, right? Not snow cones per se, right? But just product in general, where you can really scale, whether it's you selling fruit or you selling water bottles or electronics or whatever it may be. You want to take that and apply it to the digital world. And I promise you it will be life-changing for you guys, because it was life-changing for me. And that's the reason why this channel was created, real ways, to give people real ways and real solutions. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to continue to bring real ways, and we're going to continue to grow and diversify. But you guys want to make sure that you go, take advantage of this Facebook opportunity right now, you guys. Don't hesitate. A lot of people hesitate on these opportunities, right? And then they come and they go, and you just like, man, you have regret, and you like, I missed that opportunity. So right now, while the getting is good, man, get it. So make sure you guys, stay in tune with us, man. I appreciate all of the support with the Digital Streetz launch, man. You guys have been awesome, and just really just took me by surprise, all of the support and love that the Digital Streetz has been getting. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to this channel. Till the next time. So we decided to buy a yacht. One, to enjoy it. Two, to generate another income. But before we get into that, make sure you guys like and subscribe to this channel, comment, and share it. So we decided to put our yacht on Airbnb to generate another income. So what we found out, there is a pretty lucrative business, Airbnb and a yacht. We used to do it with apartments and condos, but Airbnb got more popular. A lot of landlords started cracking down on it, so we kind of moved away from that. But two, it was a lot of hustle, just with having so many different properties to keep up or whatever for Airbnb. But with the yacht, man, it's the profit margins are a lot higher. If we charter a yacht, we can make up to $2,600 for 4 hours. So it's just a fun way just to be able to generate another income. You'll enjoy everything that comes with owning a yacht, but just not as much overhead. Just for slip fee, insurance. We paid for the yacht cash. We put it in our LLC. I'll make another video about that if you guys want to know more about that and why we did it, why we put it in the LLC. Just comment below. But yeah, it's just a fun way, man, just to be out here on the water. Like I said, to cut down a lot of your costs. Why not? Put it on Airbnb, charter it out, have some fun. Network. Meet a lot of different people. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated. We bought this yacht last year, and we're doing a full remodel. It's been a pretty fun project. Me and my wife, we've been doing it. A lot of work in the inside. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, full kitchen, living room. I'll make another video giving you guys a tour. But like and subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to continue to make more videos just to show you guys how to generate money and just having a good quality of life while you're doing that. Like and subscribe. All right, so for a lot of you all that don't know, I'm Anthony Temple, and this is Real Ways. This is a channel where we talk about real ways to diversify your income. So I want to share something with you guys today, and it's a book that's called The Third Wave, and this book is by Steve Case, and it kind of gives you an insight into the future and the present too as well on how the internet was structured, how it was built, and man, it really changes your mindset on the digital world, the online world. But before we jump into it all the way, make sure that you guys like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you guys keep a lookout for the Digital Street course. There's a lot of good information in there on real ways how to really scale the e-commerce world. So let's get into it, man. Yeah, this book, man, it's a great read too as well. If you haven't got it, make sure that you guys go get it. It's called The Third Wave. And so basically with this book, just to kind of give you an overview, it talks about the first wave in 1985 through 1999. And it basically just talks about the development of the internet, the structure of the internet, what works, what doesn't work. And the second wave, it talks about between 2000 and 2015. It talks about the boom of like the e-commerce world, and so the third wave, man, that's where it really gets good, and that's right now from 2016 to the present. So right now, what you're seeing right now is you're basically seeing what I can compare to the gold rush. You know what I mean? So just consider this like the modern day digital gold rush right now. And you see a lot of people, so many people starting e-commerce brands, so the internet right now is getting flooded. It's getting flooded with content. It's getting flooded with traffic. You see so many platforms emerging right now, right? You have people that's building their own social media apps. People are learning how to do app development. I went to school for computer electronic engineering, so I kind of had a open eye to this thing, right? Where people may typically not really understand where technology is going, where the digital world is going. Early on, I had a lot of success with Amazon before they really changed a lot of things. I'm talking about where it was so easy, where you can go to a garage sale and make $100,000 with used products. That was the time that I jumped in on Amazon FBA when a lot of people didn't know what FBA was. I was doing using virtual assistants where people didn't know what virtual assistants were. And at our highest peak, we probably had over 90 workers in the Philippines working on multiple platforms on Amazon, doing drop shipping. We did it all. We did it from sending products to when you can make money just going to the dollar store, to the 99-cent store, buying products. And then we retail arbitrage, drop shipping was super easy then. It was you didn't really have all of the trademark infringement claims on Amazon, where they were just coming at you left and right. So it was a different world, right? But then you have Shopify emerging, where people are able to set up their own store. They're able to brand themselves right now. And so it's a lot of platforms out there. You have Facebook Marketplace. Matter of fact, the Digital Street course, a lot of people right now, Facebook is wide open. Facebook Marketplace is wide open. So the Digital Streetz Value 1, it talks about building a successful Facebook business, and Facebook is only taking 5%. A lot of people don't know that. They're only taking 5% of what your sales are. So man, it's so many different avenues, so many real ways out there right now for you guys to diversify. So man, right now you see, social media, all these platforms, they're going crazy, man. TikTok, Instagram. And then what they're starting to do is they're starting to open up these platforms for people to sell on them, right? But what do you do? What happens when so many people are engaged in the digital world right now, right? The online world, where all these platforms are emerging. What do you do with all of that data? Like, where is it going? A lot of people talk about this, the cloud. What is the cloud? So one of the things that I want to share with you guys is Amazon's partnership, AWS. A lot of people do not know that Amazon AWS is responsible for more than 50% of the internet that exists right now. If there was no AWS, what would Netflix be? What would YouTube be? Where would they store all of that content at? Where would they store it at? So how I ended up in the space of cloud computing. Cloud computing. Make sure that you guys do your due diligence, man. You don't want to miss out, because a lot of times, you see these opportunities and then it becomes too late for you and begins to become saturated. And when I say too late, it's never too late. But what I'm saying, that window of opportunity for you to make money, a lot easier. You can always make the money, but sometimes you have certain windows where it's a lot easier if you get in at the right time. So you guys want to make sure you do your due diligence on this thing, man. Cloud computing, AWS partnership. So what that is you guys can sign up with AWS to have a partnership with them, and you can become certified. You don't have to go to school and have a 4-year degree. You can get certified in cloud computing. And then when you have this partnership with Amazon, Amazon actually gives you the leads. They bring the customers to you. So you're able to scale this thing from that way. Another way where you can scale it is you can put your services on Fiverr, right? Of helping people to navigate through Amazon's web services, helping them to transfer all of their data from their store, from their servers to Amazon servers. Because what you're going to need is storage, just like how you see Apple all the time. Biggest problem is storage. It's the cloud. So, and a lot of companies, they're faced with this, whether there is a school or it's a hospital or it's a dentist office or whatever. All of those files, those records that they have on the computer, they have to store them somewhere. And a lot of times they don't have the space to put in these hospitals for these big server racks to house all of their data. Now it's a lot more compact, but still those servers, they get expensive. So I fell into the space where I was setting up a streaming platform for my media company with my business partners, New TV, and we kept running into the problem of storage, and we didn't want to depend on anyone like AWS or all the other companies that's out there. We wanted to build our own servers and be able to house all of our own content. But, like most companies, they still use AWS as a backup. So we end up doing this partnership. With Amazon AWS, and but I saw an opportunity there to make a ton of money. And you can scale with Amazon having this partnership because you're able to build a tech company, right? Remember that, tech company. So you're able to build a tech company, and you're able to scale it with Amazon, one of the largest cloud computing companies that it is right now. And the cloud computing space is a hyper growth market right now. So and it's underserved. So meaning that no matter how many server farms Amazon build out right now, they're not able to keep up with the supply and demand, and other companies too as well. They're not able to keep up with the supply and demand. So it's so much opportunity for you right now. And it's one of the things that we're in the process of doing right now is building our own server farms. Another thing that you can do, if you have servers, right, and you have a lot of space on them, and you're not utilizing all of that storage, you can rent out your servers too, right from your office, right from home, or from your business. So look into this cloud computing thing, guys. It's really a lot of opportunity right there. This is the first time I really spoke about it, but I really want to, this channel to really, I want to be transparent with you guys. I really want this channel to, help someone, for us to grow together, to diversify together. And that's one of the things right now that I'm dedicated to doing, and I'm going to post, some of the certifications up. So I'm going to try to, I'll probably post them in the video right here where you guys can see them pop up. But man, make sure you guys go buy this book, man. This is a life-changing book. it really, changes your outlook and your thinking on the internet. And especially if you can, foresee the future, in a way where you can kind of anticipate what's going on. Because right now, a lot of people is looking that e-commerce is booming, but you have to look outside of that. Look outside of that. Where's the other opportunity at? And so that's why I really enjoyed this book, where it talks about the third. It talks about the third wave. It talks about entrepreneurs able to enter into this this worldwide sector, right? That typically we wouldn't be able to enter into. But if you keep an eye out on it, right now, you guys, it's so much opportunity for you for growth, with this AWS. And not only just AWS, one AWS, I like Amazon when it comes to, how they scale. They make it fairly easy for you as a partner, whether it's Amazon, AWS, or if it's, FBA. So I see them kind of using that same kind of method to scale their cloud computing space, and how Amazon grew so fast, right? Being one of the largest cloud computing companies that it is where when a lot of retailers and online merchants, they were looking to scale their online business, Amazon, they were thinking, okay, well, we need to do that. And the way that we need to do that is we have to, be in control of our storage so that we can scale, so this thing can be scalable, right? But while everybody else was just focusing on sales, Amazon was focusing on, how to grow in the cloud computing space. And they're one of the biggest right now to do it, man. So it's so much more than just Amazon Prime and the streaming and their online sales. It's so much more than what that goes into the back of Amazon that you guys would just blow your minds. So look into the partnership with Amazon, and I can't stress that enough right now, because these are life-changing opportunities that you guys right now that you can really apply and get started right now. You get started today. A lot of these certifications, they're free. You don't have to go to school for 4 years. I believe that right now, if you guys want to develop wealth, right now is the time. You can almost do it. There's no such thing as instant success, but you guys can do it fairly quick. You can do it fairly quick, especially when it's opportunities like this, like FBA. That opportunity was insane when early on, and AWS is another one of those things right now where they want to continue to scale. Amazon, they want to dominate everything. So they're going to make it fairly easy for you guys to scale with them, as they grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So take that window of opportunity, but you don't know how long it's going to be that way. The same way with FBA, it was that way for a while. The rules wasn't so intense, on jumping on the platform. Everything wasn't so uptight, and you guys were able to scale and just make a ton of money. And I was able to jump on that train at that time. And so AWS is another one of those things right now that you guys really want to, you want to be paying attention to. Like, don't ignore it. It's one of those things where you're going to look up and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, this person made this much money with AWS. And then by that time, it may be saturated. I don't know how many years that's going to happen, but I think that we have at least a 7-year window to really scale this thing, to develop a lot of wealth. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, man. Let's continue to bring more real ways. Let's do it. Like and subscribe. Join the Real Ways family so that we can continue to bring ways to diversify and build wealth. Let's do it together. We're going to finish this year out with a bang. We're going to do some amazing things. The channel, like I said, we're going to take it up a notch. I know that I wasn't really posting as much, but I said, man, let me really dedicate this, this year to growing this channel and really, just really work with the people. I enjoy working with the people, man. I enjoy, giving my insight on things and people giving me their insight too as well, because it makes me strong. It makes them stronger. We're stronger together as a community, man. Let's do it. Like and subscribe to the channel. Look for more videos coming. We got so much more content and more ways like this. Make sure you guys check out this book, man. You do not want this to be one of those books that you put on your list that you never read. This book will change your mindset. This is a life-changing book. I don't recommend a lot of books, but this is one of those books where I really understand this book. I really, just looking back on my life, and reading this book, it shows you some missed opportunities there too as well, but it allows you to keep an eye out so that you don't have.
So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about Amazon FBA, how I got started, and whether it's still a good platform to sell on. But before we get into that, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, share it, comment, because I'm going to be dropping a lot of knowledge on this channel, just real ways to diversify your income and how I did it. So my transition from contracting to Amazon FBA started when me and my wife relocated from Chicago to San Diego. And we started rebuilding our construction company. But one thing that I noticed was a lot of my customers out here on the West Coast, they will always be at home or they were on vacation with their family. And I was just real curious to what it was that they were doing. So I began asking questions. A lot of my customers began to tell me they were doing e-commerce, or they was in the tech space or app development or something on that lines. So I started paying attention to just how the platforms were working with Airbnb, Amazon, and so on and so on. So I went home one day, told my wife that I wanted to set up an online store. She said, okay, babe, well, what do we need to do? So I said, well, let me do my due diligence. Let me see what's out there. And it came across Amazon FBA. So one thing that I noticed was Amazon was the largest e-commerce platform in the world. And the traffic was there. So that was a no-brainer for me. So after I did all of my research, I was just really excited to get started. But I didn't want to wait for products to take possibly 3 weeks or a month coming from China. So what I did was I went to the Dollar Tree, went to the 99-cent store, and bought a few $100s worth of products. Also, I went to Target and Walmart too. Bought some stuff from the clearance section and some things where the profit margins was there. So that was my first shipment on Amazon FBA. So I stopped doing contracting and I just put all my energy into Amazon, which at that time, I think that we just got in at the right time, because some of the things that we were doing then, you can't do them now on Amazon. So once I saw that we were able to get products from the dollar store, then began to go to thrift stores, pawn shops. We were buying calculators from these thrift stores and pawn shops for like $2, and we were selling them on Amazon for about $200. Another thing that we were selling was Brothers typewriters. We were buying these typewriters at $10, $20, and reselling them on Amazon for $200, $400, even $800 sometimes. So every time we saw these typewriters, it was a no-brainer. And we would even go on like OfferUp and Facebook and look for these typewriters, because the profit margins was just so crazy. So on average, for every $100 that we would spend, we would make $1,000. Every $1,000 we would spend, we would make $10,000. So that's how we scaled our Amazon business so fast. So like our second month, we was doing about $10,000 in sales. Then we started climbing, doing $40,000 a month, but we couldn't get over that hurdle. So I began to do more research and see, how these people were selling on Amazon, doing $100,000 in sales a month, $200,000 in sales. But at that time, it wasn't a lot of videos out there. But I came across this one video that was on Facebook, and this guy, he was doing like $6 million a year on one account, and he was hiring workers in the Philippines, but he didn't show how he was hiring these workers in the Philippines. So I did some research, and I had found this website, and it was called onlinejobs.ph. And then another website was Upwork. So on these websites, what you could do is you can set up a subscription, and then you can hire workers in the Philippines. And our first worker, we was paying about 50 cents an hour. Second worker we was hiring, it was like $1.50 an hour. The more that we would pay them, we saw that the better, of course, better workers that we could get, because some of them had college degrees, and immediately our store began to scale. So we went from doing $40,000 a month to doing, $100,000 a month, $200,000 a month in sales. And it just, one of the things that we were selling that led us into getting into the jewelry industry was jewelry. And the markups on Amazon, we would look for things that had higher profit margins, and that was the jewelry. So that's kind of how we got into the jewelry industry, was selling on Amazon. But I'm gonna make more videos exactly like how to set up an account or certain things that you guys want to hear more about. Just put it in the comments below, and I'll try to make those videos. But whether it's still a good platform to sell on, I think absolutely it's still a good platform to sell on. It's still a lot of room for growth on Amazon. Although you may hear people make these videos and they talk about how saturated Amazon is with sellers, but you got to remember, a lot of sellers, they don't last on Amazon, because a lot of people don't want to put in the work. And me and my wife starting our e-commerce store, we put a lot of work in, and it wasn't easy. So a lot of people think it's going to be a walk in the park, but some nights, me and my wife, we literally, we took cat naps where she was processing orders, we'll take turns on processing orders, and we just really wanted it that bad. So like anything that you do, you're gonna have to put the time in, you're gonna have to have the work ethic. It's not gonna be one of those get rich quick schemes. You're gonna have to really study the platform, you're gonna have to do your research and learn what works for you. So I think I'm still with new sellers that I've helped to start Amazon stores, they were still able to scale and grow their Amazon business. But of course, Amazon rules have changed a lot, with some of the things that you could sell and just the different tactics that we use then. You can't use them as much now. You can use them, but the risk is higher for getting hit with a trademark infringement or your account getting shut down. And that's just as transparent as I can be, because if you selling name brand products and they tell you that you can't sell these products on Amazon, you have to remove them. But one of the things is, you can sell these products used. Now the profit margin is not going to be, as great, but you'll be able to still kind of sell some of those products how we started. It's just that you have to be approved in that brand. So, and there's ways of doing that, and there's ways of becoming an authorized dealer on Amazon as well. So I think that absolutely is still a good platform to sell on. And my name is Anthony Temple, and this is One on One.
Why did you choose to go into the jewelry business?
Because of the profit margins. I felt like it was a good business opportunity. And then two, I like to do things outside of the box, kind of do things that I feel like some people may think that's a little bit intimidating as an African American, just to show, our people that things can be done by us, from us, So just to kind of motivate our people just to think outside the box, do those things if they see another man of color doing things that, they feel like, okay, if he's doing it, then I could do it too as well. So just kind of lead by example kind of approach, and two, because of the profit margins too, the markups in the jewelry business. It just kind of made sense to me, just being an entrepreneur and business. If the numbers is right, I go for it. So that's one of the reasons why.
Okay. What would you say is the most difficult part of the jewelry business?
The most difficult part, I would say, is the process of actually buying gold and diamonds wholesale from, people that's not of your race, being African American, because most wholesalers that I do business with, they're either Asian, Caucasian, Middle Eastern, Jewish, and it's a lot of discrimination. There's a lot of discrimination within this industry because, they want to capitalize off our culture, because one, they study us, and, it's a large business. It's a large business, so they're making billions off of us, but at the same time, they don't want to sell to us. So, and I'm gonna explain to you what I mean by that. When you go to a jewelry district, like LA, New York, most cities usually have a jewelry district, and so on your first floor is where all the retail stores are at. But when you go to the second and third floor, et cetera, that's basically where all of the wholesalers are at. And on that first floor, is being African American, you will get real good customer service experience, probably the best customer service experience that you ever got. And that's because they know that we love our jewelry. They know that black people love their jewelry, point blank period. We love our jewelry, we love our ice. So they look at us and they see dollar signs coming, but the thing where it's discouraging, what I would say is pretty disgusting is when you go to the wholesalers and you go to the, up to the second floor and third floor, and they don't want to take your money. It don't matter what you're going in there with. It don't matter if you're going in there with $100,000, with $1 million. In my experience, you're gonna face discrimination, and it's very bold, because they don't want to sell to us. When they see someone of color coming, they look like, hey, what are you doing here? Like we're not supposed to be there, because they want to capitalize off of us. But the problem comes in when they feel like we're like, okay, now let us into this industry so that we can buy gold and diamonds, because they know how creative, believe it or not, they know how creative we are. That's why they study us, and they mimic the pieces that, that we have an idea of what we want. They mimic us, and then they duplicate it, and then they do mass production. And, I kind of got an example here with me today. So I can kind of show you what I mean. Now, these are some of the pieces that I sell a lot of, that I buy from the jewelry district. And I'm gonna show it to the camera. Trap, culture, that way. Drip. But these are just some of the examples of just the pieces that we buy, we sell a lot of. But these are mass production pieces that they manufacture, that they're redistributing to different wholesalers. But when we go to buy, it's a lot of discrimination that we face, because they try to make it so difficult for us to purchase. It don't matter if you have all of your ducks in a row, they still want to try to give you a hard time just to even do business with you, because you're African American. Because in some way, I think that they feel like that they're going to lose a lot of business. If we really begin to wake up and really see that all we have to do is sell a few pieces, then go back and double up. and keep doubling up and keep doubling up, because there's literally people that come into this country with nothing, and they get into the jewelry industry, and there's a misconception that people think that you have to be born into a family that's been in the jewelry business to be a jeweler, and that's not true. All you have to do is just be consistent, with investing your money. So, all it takes is for you to really sell like a couple of good pieces really to get into the industry, and just keep on doubling up, doubling up, doubling up. That's not the way that I entered into the jewelry business. I had invested a lot of upfront money just from other businesses that I got a return on my investment, and decided to go into the jewelry business because of the markups in the industry. But to answer your question, the most challenging and difficult thing I would say is just buying wholesale from people that's not African American, which I've never been to a wholesaler that has been African American. So I think that's the most difficult. That's the most difficult. And two, I think that we should definitely support African American jewelers more. So that we can, be able to be in positions to be the wholesaler, to be able to, distribute diamonds and distribute gold, to other people that want to get into business, and be, just to be a help to our people. So I think that we just need to, in this industry, I think we just need to stick together a little bit more and support one another a little bit more, because, all the jewelry that's being purchased, and you do have, black jewelers. And I feel like that our people need to go out their way a little bit more to support those black jewelers, especially the entertainers and the athletes. If you have a black jeweler that's capable, go with that black jeweler, because then you're pushing your people ahead. You're pushing your people forward, with all of the money, because, you have athletes and entertainers, and they spend millions on jewelry, and that's money. That's a lot of money in any industry, that can go towards moving your people forward. And I'm not just saying that just because, I'm a jeweler or I'm in the jewelry business. I'm saying that because you have a lot of people that'll make better with their money, that'll provide better opportunities for our people, advancing on. Because, with myself, I know is that I continue to invest in different businesses that provide other opportunities for more people of our color.
Okay. So what do you want to bring awareness to in the jewelry business?
To bring awareness is basically what I just kind of touched on. Is just supporting one another, supporting black jewelers. Right. And that's one thing I want to say. If there is anybody that out there that has a jewelry business or that's a jeweler, man, leave a comment in the description. Share this video, so that we can bring more awareness to black jewelers and black jewelry store owners, so that we can support them, more. Even myself, if it's something that I could do, where someone that want to get into the industry, or someone that I can network, leave a comment, and I'll read those comments to the best of my ability and get back with you. So I just want to bring awareness to us supporting one another, and really just recognizing really the challenges of being African American in the jewelry business, or any business that discriminates against us and don't want to let us in the industry, whether that may be upscale designer, clothing designer, jewelry, whatever it may be. We have to really start breaking down barriers, even though this is 2019, man, we still face a lot of discrimination, as African American trying to break into different industries. and it's more challenging for us because it's still a lot of racism that exists. And I want people to know that, it's not just Caucasians that want to oppress us. You do have other nationalities that want to oppress us, that don't want us to wake up and don't want us to capitalize, off of what we are and what we created. They mimic what we do. They mimic our culture. They steal our culture. Then they try to sell it and capitalize off of us. So what I want to bring awareness to is that, if you could buy that culture from someone of your color, buy that culture from someone of your color. Buy that culture from your people. Like, don't go outside of your people to buy your culture that they took from you and they slapping a dollar tag on it and they reselling it to you. Go out your way to, be a help to someone of your color to move you further along. Because for us to move further along as a people, period, we have to work within unity.
Okay. And where will we follow you at?
Well, you can follow us on IG at Temple Jewelers, or you can follow us at or purchase from us at www.templecustomjewelers.com.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that insight.
All right. It's been a pleasure.
And thank you.
I did an interview in 2019 about the discrimination that I faced entering into the jewelry industry. So I posted it on my channel. Got a lot of people to reach out to me. Some I was able to network with, some I was able to give some guidance and some direction to. But I had a lot of people also asking me, like, what was my story? What was the different things that I was doing in business? How did I get to the point entering into the jewelry industry? So I just wanted to, start posting more on here, sharing my story with you guys, hopefully inspire someone and help to give someone some direction and to bring awareness. Because coming up on the south side of Chicago, in our community, we, in African-American communities, period, we don't really have anybody coming into the communities teaching us financial literacy or how to own and operate a business. At least in the 80s and the 90s, I know I didn't experience it. That wasn't my story. I was just fortunate because I had a father that was an entrepreneur, and he taught me a lot of different things. He was a carpenter, he was an electrician, he was a plumber, and he had restaurants and different things coming up in Chicago. But my father, he didn't have a lot of education, and myself, I didn't learn how to read and write until I was 22 years old. And the things that my father taught me, I was able to apply them to my life. He told me one thing when I was younger. He said, son, if you never learn how to read or write, learn how to read a tape measure. Because having a trade, that helped me to survive. And had I not had that trade, I don't know where I would be at right now. So I ended up, even though I had my father, I ended up kind of rebelling against him, even with my father's guidance. I ended up going to the streets, started selling drugs. First time I ever made six figures, it was in the streets. And so it was something that I felt like I was good at. And I wanted a different quality of life, what I didn't see in my neighborhood. And I felt like that was the only way for me to be successful, or opportunities really that I had in front of me to be successful without having an education, not knowing how to read and not knowing how to write. So I ended up getting into some trouble. I was facing like 21 to 45 years in jail, right? And this was at a young age. I was like 19 years old. And I saw the hurt that I caused my father, my family. I knew that I needed to change my life drastically. I didn't want to become a product of my environment, didn't want to end up in a penitentiary or dead on the south side of Chicago. So I really committed myself to advancing myself. I went back to school, got a high school diploma, went to college for computer electronic engineering. And at that time, the entry level pay had dropped drastically. As I began to educate myself, I was able to advance in business. So I did fairly well in construction, so I stuck with that. I was generating six figures, did well, but I didn't want to, so that made that much more difference for me in my life because I began to educate myself. And instead of chasing the money, I began to chase the knowledge, began to chase the wisdom. And that's what made the difference in my life. So after, being in contracting, and I made investments in real estate apartment buildings, hardware stores, barbershops, and many more business after that. But I decided that I didn't want to be in Chicago anymore. So packed up, moved to the West Coast, left everything behind, my networking circle, businesses, shut all those down, came out to California, started completely over. Jumped into e-commerce, jumped into the marijuana industry, jumped into jewelry industry, just, diversified my income and just really began to build generational wealth for my family. So I really wanted to kind of tell you guys my story. If you guys want to hear more from me, like, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to make more videos, share them. You know what I mean? So we can get the information out there so that we can bring awareness so that we can continue to educate one another, because if we don't do it, no one will. So, like, subscribe to this channel, man, again, and just, comment, if you guys want to hear more about me. I'm going to post my all of my social medias, my Temple Custom Jewelers, my Law 420, which is my cannabis company, my streaming company, New TV, just all of the social media things that I'm doing too as well, kind of keep you guys up to date with what it is that I'm doing in business. And two, like I said, I'm going to drop a lot of knowledge on this channel, even from credit to stock options, and what it is that I do and how I do them and the things I've done to be successful, and how I went from not knowing how to read or write, not having, a traditional education, to, turning some of my companies into, $1 million companies. So, man, that's it. I'm going to continue to post, continue to make videos, man. You guys show them some love, subscribe, and like.
So we decided to buy a yacht. One, to enjoy it. Two, to generate another income. But before we get into that, make sure you guys like and subscribe to this channel, comment, and share it. So we decided to put our yacht on Airbnb to generate another income. So what we found out, there is a pretty lucrative business, Airbnb and a yacht. We used to do it with apartments and condos, but Airbnb got more popular. A lot of landlords started cracking down on it, so we kind of moved away from that. But two, it was a lot of hustle, just with having so many different properties to keep up or whatever for Airbnb. But with the yacht, man, it's the profit margins are a lot higher. If we charter a yacht, we can make up to $2,600 for 4 hours. So it's just a fun way just to be able to generate another income. You'll enjoy everything that comes with owning a yacht, but just not as much overhead. Just for slip fee, insurance. We paid for the yacht cash. We put it in our LLC. I'll make another video about that if you guys want to know more about that and why we did it, why we put it in the LLC. Just comment below. But yeah, it's just a fun way, man, just to be out here on the water. Like I said, to cut down a lot of your costs. Why not? Put it on Airbnb, charter it out, have some fun, network, meet a lot of different people, so I'm gonna keep you guys updated. We bought this yacht last year, and we're doing a full remodel. It's been a pretty fun project. Me and my wife, we've been doing it. A lot of work in the inside. It's 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, full kitchen, living room. I'll make another video giving you guys a tour, but like and subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to continue to make more videos just to show you guys how to generate money and just having a good quality of life while you're doing that. Like and subscribe.